Good afternoon, everybody. Keto for Real Life people here. And I'm about a minute early on starting, but I thought, hey, I can get the shout out stuff out of the way. So if you are new to Keto for Real Life People YouTube channel and you've never subscribed, do me a favor and tap the little subscribe button down below. If you want to make sure you get notified, make sure that you tap on the little bell. The little bell will make sure that you know when I'm doing a live or I've uploaded a new video or I've posted on a community or I've added to my story. So if you are new, welcome. And if you are just one of my regular, love you, kind of get in here on the keto thing, welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you all. Okay, so this is going to be a kind of a long video here. Well, I don't know about long, but a little difficult for me. Anywho, so I'm gonna mute myself real quick so that I can see the chat coming up. Hi Lisa, I see you there. I will just type in here, hi everybody. I'm learning how to work with YouTube a little bit better because this is going to be my main platform going forward now, y'all. So there we go. RCT, love your efforts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so oh, look here. I've got little emojis you guys can do. Super sticker, super chat, super close. So you guys, if you want to send super stickers or super chats, anybody who does that, I will do a shout out. Although today's topic is sort of serious. All right, so it is 12:30. I'm gonna get started. So I've been on YouTube, and you know I get comments. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Facebook. I am a keto. I don't know what you call me. You know, motivator, I guess. I like to develop recipes. I like for food to taste like food, so I figure out how to create my own keto recipes and I try to share them and teach people how to make whatever it is I'm making. I am also a person who wants to encourage people to give keto, give it a shot, you know. My passion though, my heart, okay, I want to talk about my heart real quick. My heart is carb and sugar food addictions, and my goal is to share what I know, so if you are suffering from a food addiction, that you can break the chains and be free from it. And the way I found my freedom from carb and sugar addiction and food addiction and eating disorders was through eating keto and low carb, mostly keto though. So here's a little backstory, or here's a little info. So over the last say 8 months, oh, it's been actually a year last month, my body started changing. So as I've changed over the last year, and I have done lives and done tutorials or videos or whatever, there are a lot of comments and questions about my weight gain. And I thought, you know, I might as well just get out there and talk about it, because, you know, some people are just curious. Nancy, have you gained weight? You know, if you have, you need to just get back to keto and start eating that high fat and vegetables and meat and stick to that. Nothing particularly mean, or just, you know, just an observation and some well-meaning advice, I'm sure. Other people aren't quite that nice. You know, you know, she's not keto, or she's looking bad, or she's fat, or she's this. And then most recently, a really, really, really bad comment. I'm not gonna say what it was. And it didn't really, when I'm doing a video, it doesn't always allow all the comments to come through. They get pre-screened by YouTube. And so they'll hold back, and they will allow me to remove the comment, or they will let me read it and decide whether to allow it be there. You know, it's just some sort of little filter they have on there. Well, apparently they filtered that one, and I'm glad. I mean, I probably would have been more embarrassed by this comment if everybody could read it as well. So, and to the point that my husband felt he had to say something. Here's the thing. So between just curious people saying, hey, have you gained weight? Have you gained weight? Have you gained weight? And the, damn, you fat, you this, you that. Between those two spots, it's been a nonstop. And I thought, let's just do this, and let's just talk about it. I want to talk about my experience. If you've been following me on Facebook for any length of time, you know that I have definitely talked about what's been going on with me over the last year. But this is kind of just like my cumulative. I'm going to take 1 year, and I'm going to just kind of put it together and talk about what happened over the last year, where I'm at right now, and what my plan of action is. So, Cindy says, thank you for coming on and talking about this. I'm struggling because I feel like my body's in some new weird menopausal phase. And Lisa said, they're jerks for, you know, saying bad things. I'm glad your husband said something. Italian Curl says, yeah, that's called the internet, a place where everyone feels like their opinion is needed or wanted. Exactly. So, you know, and I'm a grown-up, so I don't have to go cry and feel like my world is devastated because somebody, you know, threw sticks and stones at me. I don't break that easily, okay? But there is that initial, you know, that hurt my feelings and made me feel self-conscious, and now, you know, but then 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, no. Move on, Nancy. There's gonna be those kind of people out there. And that's just how you have to deal with it, because if you let people get away with that and have power over you, then you'll always be a victim. And I learned long ago that I do not want any type of victim mentality. So here you go. You ready? So first of all, have I gained weight? Yes. Big question. How much weight have I gained? I've gained 40 plus pounds. 40 plus. My total weight loss on keto, 74 pounds. Gained back 43, I believe. Right in there. 42, 43 pounds. And I feel devastated. That's all there is to it. I feel devastated. So, aw, thank you so much, Snoozy. Aw, thank you. Lesarge, thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate it. Life and adventure in keto. Oh, thanks. Now then, 43 pounds. So I want to talk about what happened last year. So last year, I want to stay really focused. Let's talk about menopause real quick. So that's the main culprit. Let's put that out there. I've gained 43 pounds and I have started the change. Okay. That being said, what about the change? What is the change? Is it menopause? Is it perimenopause? Is it postmenopause? It's just somewhere in between in a land of hell. Just saying, okay? Menopause is a terrible thing. And here's what I knew about it going in. I mean, I think we all have this idea of what menopause is. Your periods stop. That's the number one thing. You hit a certain age and all of a sudden your periods stop. So we all know that, right? Number two, you can have mood swings. Well, okay, yeah, we've had periods our whole lives. We know about mood swings, and we know that they can become worse when you hit that menopause. When those periods stop, your hormones are fluctuating, and so, okay, I'm ready. All right, I know I'm going to have some mood swings. My poor family, oh well, we'll get through it. Night sweats, yes, okay, so I know about some night sweats, sure enough, yeah. Waking up in the middle of the night, you gotta get up, you gotta change your clothes, you gotta take a shower, you know, all of that, knew about that. Here's things that I did know. I knew about hot flashes, I knew irregular periods, I knew that my periods could be heavy 1 month, disappear the next month, maybe have a little period the next month, then maybe no period, you know, irregularity. That's a sign that you're getting ready to go through the change. I knew about that. Vaginal dryness, I've heard people talk about that, like, yes, after you go through menopause, or you've had a hysterectomy and you've gone through menopause early. I've had women tell me about, vaginal dryness and having to use alternatives because it's painful. I knew about that. I also knew about hot flashes, irregular periods, memory or night sweats, vaginal dryness, and mood swings. That's kind of all I knew about it. I mean, because there's not a lot of information out there. You can look up menopause and it's the same little box of information everywhere you go. It's not worth funding, I guess, to do a lot of deep research on it. So I went into going into this not knowing a lot. I thought I did, though. I thought I knew what to expect. I thought I was prepared. So last June, I was due to have a period. I didn't. And then 17 days later in the month of July, I did. And it was just a little period. And then after that, I didn't have any periods. And I was actually kind of happy. I didn't really feel any different. I was still down 74 pounds, plotting along, doing well, thinking, wow, yeah, I'm going to be so happy. I'm done with the period mess. I'm over it, Okay, yeah. Then other things started happening to me that I just didn't realize. And I'm going to just take it right on down because I made sure that I wrote things down as they happened so that it might help somebody. It explains the weight gain, okay? It does explain that. But it also maybe will help somebody else who's going through it. Boy, I see lots of comments, guys. We'll get to it when we get down there to that. All right, so here we go. So June 2019, I missed that period, all right? Yeah, I'm a little moody about it, a little stressed, a little pissy, but then I'm used to having pretty bad week before my period would start, all right? September and October, though. Now, I've gone, a long time without a period already, and I'm thinking, all right, now we're into this. But in September, I was gearing up for my very first really speaking engagement. I was invited to speak on a low-carb cruise that left in September, came back in October, the first part of October. A little stressful. I handled myself well. But the other thing that happened in the month of September was my husband. My husband has had health issues for the last couple of years, particularly in his back, and he's had some vascular stuff. So in September of last year, getting ready for a cruise, finances are everything's just hectic, right? And I'm feeling it. Probably more intensely than I normally would, let's just put it that way. But I just pushed through, y'all. So I went on this cruise, I came back. In the month of October, stress is still building, still no period coming along. By about November, here is where it started happening. My first 10 pounds. By mid to late October, the scale had gone up 10 pounds and I wasn't doing anything different, y'all. I was still keto. I was still making recipes like I do. I started talking about it on my Facebook and stuff. I don't know what's happening. I know it has to do with something. At least I had the common sense to think, well, this probably has something to do with menopause or the change or whatever it's called, So yeah, I've gained 10 pounds. And when I gained that 10 pounds, I felt like I was huge, and I was panicked, and everybody's like, we can't even tell you've gained weight. I knew it. The scale was, my size 8s were fitting tightly, and I'm like, oh, holy hell, no. So I just kept pressing on. I was encouraged to just keep on keeping on. By December, I had gained another 5 pounds. So between the month of July when my period stopped and December, I was already up 15 pounds. Just eating keto. I hadn't changed anything. If anything, I was trying to cut back. I was trying to starve myself, And then depression started in December. Guys, it wasn't like I was just moody and in a bad mood all the time, because I pretty much was. My family, poor family, my husband, he's like, you're just angry all the time. And you know, it wasn't just here and there. I mean, it was just every little thing set me off. But the depression, yes, there were circumstances around me as well. There were financial issues. Husband's been off work since September. You know, holidays are coming. You get those pressures and things. But still, I've been through a lot of things in my life, and that shouldn't have happened in that direction. But I was up 15 pounds. By the end of December and into January, full on depression. Just full on, y'all. I didn't want to get out of bed. It took every fiber of my being to even try to do lives, to try to figure out a recipe. I didn't want to clean my house. I felt hopeless. Should I have gone to a doctor? I should have, but I didn't. I just thought this will pass. This is just menopause. It's just something you do. Besides that, financially, my husband's medical bills are mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. He just had carotid artery surgery. So I just felt like I could not take myself to the doctor. And frankly, I was so depressed. I was like, I don't give a rat's patootie, you know? I just didn't. So the little thought started niggling in my mind. There's this little thought saying, well, you're gaining weight no matter what you do, and you can't take it off. And why don't you just eat whatever the hell you want anyway? You know, if you're gonna gain weight, why even mess with keto? I mean, I was seriously thinking about, well, maybe I should just give it up. So I ate off plan. I did. I ate off plan, and then I gained another 5 pounds quickly. It wasn't a gradual 15-pound increase over 3 months. It was, wow, you want to gain 5 pounds real quick? Here, eat that, gain this. And I backed off because I was like, oh gosh, that was scary. So pretty much I just stayed right where I was. January, February, I went through it. Still depressed. The house is still wrecked. Still no motivation. I'm feeling bloated all the time. Just didn't want to do anything. March hits. All right. Now I didn't know that 2020 was going to be the year of Jumanji, but hey, I'm all about the Jumanji year because March hit, and again the whole world changed. Right? March hit and the whole wide world changed, and yeah, I was caught up in that as well. I was caught up in shutdowns, pandemic. Our income had been reduced. Husband was working, but only light duty per se. So therefore, there was that. The depression was already there. But then comes along anxiety, which I haven't had to fight anxiety since I was in my 30s. So now I've got anxiety and depression going on. And now I really do start kind of messing around with eating off plan. Not constant, not all the time, but I started messing around with it. You know, oh, hey, I can have some fruit. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, fruit cake, upside down. Yeah, whatever. You know, I did it. I started kind of just eating my emotions, and I was panicked. And yes, I was still holding on though. I wasn't doing it enough to start having that scale creep up, but I was doing it. So my weight held through the months of April and May. I was up 20 something pounds, just right about 21 pounds right there. And then June and July happened. How do I say it? When you have things going on in your home, because now situations have changed. I've got family and grandkids and all this. I've got a full house. And mind you, you think to yourself, well, Nancy, that's not bad. No, really. The whole world shutting down changed my world completely because, I became a caretaker and a teacher and a keto motivation speaker and a this and that, and still dealing with everything. And I completely just broke. And by June and July, my house was turned upside down. There was no peace, there was no rest, there was no nothing. And I just said, just like this. I was just like this. White towel. I give up. I'm done. I'm just over it, I'm going to eat what I want, when I want. And I tried it. And then again, more weight. Another 8 pounds came on in the month of June, July. And then I was like, oh, okay, now your weight's all the way up there, Nancy. It's like almost to 215. You've got to stop. And it's like it hit you like a, dead in your tracks. I just came to a screeching halt. I ate the whole wedding weekend, Father's Day weekend. The holidays is when I was allowing myself to eat off plan. I do good during the week, but I was allowing myself this and that, thinking it wasn't going to do any good. But here's the slippery slope. The one thing that I really just didn't want to acknowledge, the really important thing that I needed to say to myself was, but Nancy, you are a food addict. You have an addiction to carbs. You have an addiction to sugar. It's going to get you. And guess what? It raised its ugly head. That's all I can tell you. My addiction, I cheated one too many times, y'all. You can get away with it for a little while. If you're an addict, you can get away with it for a little while if you're carb or fat adapted, because your body is still running on ketones for fuel. Your body has switched over and made that its source of energy. But when you start eating off plan, the more you eat off plan, the closer together you eat off plan, your body starts flipping back around, and now your body's saying, hey, I want to run on carbs, and I want to run on sugar, and I want to store fat, and I want those cravings, and you're going to start going into it. But here's the thing. I have eating disorders. I have binge eating disorder. I've had bulimia, and it was back. I would eat keto 1 week, no problem. 2 weeks, no problem. I've yet over this summer to get 3 solid weeks down without some little cheat. Whether it was a full-blown go off plan for a day, or whether it was eating, a plum, something as simple as a plum. I have gone 3 whole weeks without some sort of sugary thing. Okay, so my mind is made up. I am on track. I haven't had anything off plan. I'm putting myself out there, not only just to explain why I have gained weight, but also to encourage you, if you are in that spot, that there cannot be any cheats if you want to get victory over your eating disorders, your weight gain, or your weight problems. Gaining back 43 pounds has been the hardest thing. It makes my depression worse. I don't want to get my hair washed. I seriously don't. I've spent days like not bathing, not washing, I don't even want to look in the mirror. I despise myself when I'm eating carbs. It is a vicious circle, and I don't want anybody to ever have to go through that. But you know what? I'm not ashamed to sit here and talk to you about it. I'm not ashamed to bring it out. I actually just feel like it's going to do some good for somebody out there who might be going through the same exact thing. So my plan of action, before I go to plan of action, I'm going to take a moment here and I'm going to talk about things that you might not know about when it comes to menopausal symptoms. So I named off 5 major symptoms of menopause, right? I named off hot flashes, irregular periods, your period stopping, night sweats, vaginal dryness, and mood swings. So 6, really. And I'm not going to even talk about the associated risks of what happens to a woman when she does go through menopause, because you become high risk for certain diseases after menopause. But we're not going to go there, okay? Today it's about things you might not know about menopause. Did you know there are actually 34 associated symptoms? You can Google it yourself, but there are 34 associated symptoms of menopause, and I'm going to read down the list, okay? This will take a quick minute to do. But number 1, hot flashes. Number 2, irregular periods. Number 3, fatigue. That was a huge one for me. Huge, constantly tired. Like I said, did not want to get out of bed. Between the depression and the fatigue and the mental fatigue, nope, not happening. Memory lapses. Yes, that is a thing. I did not know that, and it really was bothering me that I was having little memory lapses. I've always had a very, very, very astute, almost photogenic type of memory when it comes to things, but I was finding myself kind of in a brain fog and like, what was I gonna say? Couldn't find the word. Night sweats, loss of libido. Yeah, I don't care about sex right now. Don't really care about it. Sometimes I do, and I think maybe, but no, for the most part, no. Before menopause, it wasn't sometimes I do. It was like, heck yeah, that's a healthy part of my, my life. I enjoy that, but no, I don't care. Vaginal dryness, mood swings, panic disorder. Yes. Have you ever just felt frozen? I'm not talking about an anxiety attack. I'm talking about full on frozen. I did it for months this year. Just the thought of doing certain things that it could be as simple as clean your house. I can't. I like frozen in place, panicked. Like go like, no. Urinary tract problems. Yes, you could have those. Bloating, definitely up there. Infection, I thank you Jesus haven't had that. Hair loss and thinning, oh yeah, my hair has been going like away. If it wasn't for all the product in my hair right now, you've seen me do my lives with my straight, stringy, scraggly hair. Yeah, it's gotten worse. My part, you can see up here where it's going wider and wider, and oh God, I've only had box color back in April, so see the roots. All right. Sleep disorders. Yes. My sleep has been, for the most part, terrible. For the last year and a half, it's just been terrible. Dizziness, meh, not so much for me. Weight gain, ding, 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 ding. Incontinence, a little bit. Yeah, like something can happen suddenly, unexpectedly. Somebody does something, I'll be, what just happened? Like there was just a little drip, 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 and I'm like, what? Okay, so I didn't know that was an actual symptom. Headaches, had a few of those. Burning tongue, not one of my issues. Digestive problems, most definitely. Muscle tension, yes. Allergies, yes. Brittle nails, definitely. Body odor change, I hope not. There were days I didn't want to bathe, but then I'm sure my family would have said, go bathe. Itchy skin, yes. Osteoporosis, definitely. Tingling extremities. That was a shocker to me because I've been experiencing it for the last 3 years. Weirdness. Like all of a sudden my fingers are tingling, my feet are tingling, and I'm like constantly like, what is going on? It's a symptom. It's a real thing. Insomnia. Yes, several times a month. I cannot go to sleep, and it doesn't matter when I finally do go to sleep, I'm still up at the butt crack of dawn. Just definitely there. Had to really pay attention to what I was drinking, because if I were to have a Diet Coke or any type of caffeine after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, oh, I definitely was going to have problems. Difficulty concentrating. Yes, definitely one of the issues that I've struggled with, of that squirrel moment, trying to stay focused, and that's one of the reasons. Like, yes, I do ketones. Yes, it helped me with my brain. I was struggling with brain fog. I was struggling with the ability to stay focused, stay on track, and no energy. So irregular heartbeat, definitely something that I've experienced late, especially at night. It seems to be worse at night. Like I'll go lay down and all of a sudden I'll feel the flutters. So that's another one. Anxiety, definitely part of it. Depression, again, yes. Breast pain, not so much for me. Joint pain, yes. Everything seems to hurt all the time now. I'm sure eating off plan didn't help it, but even before I went off plan, I had noticed that I just felt stiffer, and I just thought I was getting worse. And then last but not least, electric shock sensation. That shocked me because, again, this is something I've been dealing with for at least 5 years. Is I'll be standing there out of nowhere, I get what I call zingers, where I feel this like something shocked me on maybe on my back rib, or maybe on my shoulder, maybe it zoomed through. I will feel like something electric went right through my shoulder and came right out my left knee. You know, it was just weird electrical shock sensations. So 34 symptoms that never get talked about. And when you're in the midst of going through all of this, you know, you don't even know it. And this is helpful to me. This lets me know that I'm not going absolutely crazy, okay? So what am I doing? What is my plan of action? Number one, it's having this talk, because that's what people do when they're in support group places. Yes, this is not Facebook, but there are more people on YouTube following my page than there are on Facebook. So maybe this will help you. We discuss it. So getting it out there, putting it out there. I now understand better what I'm dealing with. That helps a lot. It helps relieve some of the anxiety. But I still have to take action on my own. I have to deal with my addiction again. And how do you do that? Or how do I do that? I do that by starting at the beginning. That's what you do. Back to the basics. I'm not fat adapted, I'm sure. So I have to go back. High fat, moderate protein, low carb. What about intermittent fasting? What about OMAD? What about being fat adapted? What about, no. Start at the beginning. If you have found yourself off plan for whatever reason, whether it is, you know, menopause, and you're at that age and it's happening to you, or maybe you found yourself eating your emotions and your feelings, and stress has gotten to you and you found yourself going off plan, and you've gone off plan a lot. I know people who follow me. I know people in my group. We are not alone. And it's not about I know who's doing what. It's understandable. A lot of people this year have found themselves strayed off the keto journey. So we start back at the beginning. And the reason I say high fat, moderate protein, low carb, and don't count your calories and just start out is because if you have found yourself slid into your addiction, in order to get rid of your addiction, you have to kill it. The only way to kill it is with nonstop fat and protein, a little bit of veg, you know. 3 weeks. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about gaining more weight. Don't worry about doing anything until your cravings go back under control. Once you get yourself back under control, once your cravings abate, once your appetite goes down, once you feel like a normal human being again, then you can talk about saying, okay, intermittent fasting and OMAD and all the stuff that comes with it. All right, that's just my general recommendation to anybody. This is what I'm doing for me. That's my advice. You could take it, you can leave it, but that's where it's at. So I'm going to take a minute now. I think I got everything out. I'll look at my book here to see if I missed anything, but if you have questions or if I can encourage you anyway, I'm here for that. Let's go up here. Ooh, there was lots and lots of, there we go. Lisa, I love videos with you. Hello. Keto carbs. Maybe it's because you're wearing sleeveless. Your bottom doesn't look fat. Oh, well. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's discuss that. I'll put that there because I look absolutely pregnant. I'm wearing this little top because it has stretchiness, because I'm still wearing some of the clothes that I was wearing before gaining the weight, but they were, you know, loose and blousy, and now they're stretched over me. All right, so I'm gonna show you, but I'm wearing this because my dog and I were playing and she scratched me. with her claws. So I'll just do this, and I'll move that for a second. So, yeah. I do. And if I were to let it out, that's me 100% letting it out. Like, I have gained most of my weight right through the abdomen, and now it's in my face. And of course, I have arms. My arms have been terrible my whole life. It's a genetic thing. So those I live with. But, you know, I don't want to soft stuff it. And thank you for saying I don't look like that bad, but for real, it is. Hello, Miss Sharon. Cindy Buchanan says, thank you for coming on and talking about this. I'm struggling because I feel like my body's in some new weird menopausal phase. Let's see. People are very willing to say incredible mean things when hidden behind a keyboard. I agree with that. Keto Carb says, but your channel is about weight, keto way of life, so people should not be cruel, but it should be talked about by you. Thank you, Keto Carbs. Yeah, you know, over the last couple of years that I started this YouTube channel, and YouTube is the wild, wild west of the World Wide Web, if you will, I get random, weird, rude, inappropriate comments at times. Even when with my 74 pounds down, I still would get comments about how fat I was. You know, people just want to fat shame you. But I would think to myself, well, yeah, but I might be 174 pounds wearing a size 8, but I'm not 250 pounds now, and too bad you didn't know that about me. Oh, well. Okay. Thank you. It is Susie Lesarge who sent a super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, if you're sending super stickers, I'll give you the shout out. Those are a financial little boon for me. So if you send them my way, that helps me with my keto journey and continuing with my YouTube and all of that. So thank you, Susie. Laura says, it's exhausting hearing negative people. You are a blessing to us. It's a lot harder to lose after menopause. I personally know. Love you, girl. Thank you. Sissy says, I always said similar to my daughter, life's adventures. And Keto says, I'm premenopausal and have weird symptoms. Maybe that helped out a little bit there. 7 months stopped, then boom, started again. See, and that was another thing I forgot to mention. So I went from I went 230 days, June or July, all the way through April, no period, thinking I'm coming up on that home stretch, it's going to be done, and then maybe, and I still have this hope that some miracle is going to take place and that I'm going to just all of a sudden balance out a little bit, whether it's with lower hormones, but I'm going to be not all over the place. I feel like, okay, so there's hope, hopefully. Now, I had a full-blown period in April. Very shortly thereafter, I was talking to Dr. Anna Kabecka, and unfortunately, I have to start the count all over again. In order to be post-menopause, when you're just done with all of this, whatever this is, you have to be 1 full year. So if you get a period 7 months after your period stopped, it starts all over. So I'm just in it. I'm just in it. Okay, this is not talked about as much as it should be. That you're right. Thank you, Sharon. Jen Jabba says, menopause is hell. I gained 30, still in ketosis, then COVID, then loss of pets, hormone replacement cream saved my life. Please consider. I'm really going to consider it. I'll be honest. I'm anxious about it. I've heard so many horror stories about people who do hormone replacement therapy and the weight comes on, and you know, hot flashes have gotten worse. So, you know, and I know there's some people it's great for, and some people it's terrible. But just I think about my track record and how things go for me, and I'm like, oh hell no, I don't want to do it. And bioidentical hormones is something I'm very, very interested in. But again, that's for people who can just go down and pay for that on a monthly basis. I'm not in that position, you know. So it's a hard spot for me, and I have been unable to make up my mind about it. But does a conversation need to happen? It surely does. I do need to address it. But I'm going to tell you straight up. I was going to make an appointment for September. Last September, I went and had all my blood work done. I got my yearly physical. I did all of that stuff. And I feel like this. If I don't have something physically wrong with me, like a cold or some virus or something like that, I just avoid the doctors as much as possible. So, and I do believe in getting, you know, your wellness check. And you know, hey, all my numbers are good. I'm good. Don't need to go. That being said, so I need to talk to the doctor about hormones. I wanted to talk to the doctor about my osteoporosis. I wanted to talk to my doctor about some skin spots that have come up recently, and I want to make sure that it's not cancer. And I definitely need to find out about, what was that? I have 4 things. Thyroid, that was it. So this is where I do need to get those things addressed. No, it's not like a cold or anything, but there are things now taking place that I've noticed that I should get addressed. So I'm going to try to do that. Oh, hey babies. Thank you so much. I have Texas Hula Bear. I can't believe I randomly opened your YouTube today and this was your subject matter. I needed to hear this. I love your live streams, vlogs, and recipes. Keep it up. We'll get through this together. And thank you for that $10. That is amazing. Thank you so much. She is a top chat. Woohoo! That is so cool. You're my very first top chat person. So, let's see here. Okay, I need to be able to keep that going. Let's go back here now. I got so excited and I didn't even know what to do with my mouse here. So, right, let's see. Married to keto, that is so tough. Hello, Paleo says, I still suffer from my depression from menopause and my Graves' disease. It's a daily struggle. Keto helps, but it's never gone away. Oh, I've never had that, but girl, my heart goes out to you. You and I should just chill sometime, or you just message me. Heck, we've gone to lunch and you live close by, you know. Let's just call me, girl. Sharon Strickland says, my metabolism tanked pre, during, and post-menopause. Financial stress is the worst, and then other things pile on. Lots of hugs and empathy to you, sister. Thank you, Miss Sharon. The hits just keep coming. Oh, yeah, don't they, though? It's so easy to eat your emotions. Things have been so stressful. Martha says, cortisol is our enemy with so many stressors. Even the stresses are good, still raise cortisol. You know, and that's it. Our hormones, we have more than just estrogen and progesterone. We've got cortisol, we've got lupin, we've got ghrelin. Sorry about that. But, you know, there are different hormones at play, and stress is a major. And I have talked about it over the last few months. I have talked about trying to de-stress. When I do go walking, it does help. Getting vitamin D and taking my K2 does help. There are things that do help, but does it completely go away? No. And I'm terrible at consistency. I'm the first one to tell you I'm terrible with my consistency, when, especially with coming to supplements, and then fighting my addiction. And I can tell you the most consistent was when I just was pure 100% keto. My life felt normal. I didn't feel like a failure all the time. So yes, so many hats to wear. There are many, many hats. I have felt like giving up too, but I know that will make me feel so much worse. It will. Do not give up, y'all. Do not give up. I could have. There's been many a time over the last year that I have literally thought about just giving up. I mean, yes, I threw the white flag and ate what I wanted and I gained more weight, but I am not going to stop. There were times I just wanted to say, done with keto. Let somebody else have my group. Let somebody else do that. Other people are better than me. I've seen this person and they're so awesome. This keto person, this keto expert, this keto. How do they do it? Well, Nancy, you're just fail. I mean, you are your own worst enemy. And I'm here to tell you, Just stay on track no matter what. I guarantee you, at 174 pounds, I still felt fat. At 174 pounds, I still wanted to lose another 20 pounds. At 174 pounds, I said I would be all right if I never gained another or lost another ounce, but secretly I still wanted to lose that weight because I was still in fat mode. Gained 42 pounds back. Never been that low in my life, man, and not since I was an adult. And I would take it back in a second. And I would just, I now know what gratefulness means. Like, I should have just been content where I was. Don't give up and don't give in, y'all. Whew. Sandra, thank you for your transparency and honesty. Thank you. Sharon says, we needed this topic, so much stress in our world today. Yes, ma'am. Sissy says, my bread Sunday, biscuits, toast, cornbread, and sweets, but I'm back to no breads, no sweets. That's what you have to tell yourself. You have to just jump back on it. You have to. Yes, seriously, it's so real. These are the struggles people go through. Brenda says, it is easy to do, cheat, that is. We have to be stronger than the food. We are stronger than the food when we give ourselves the opportunity. You know, I'm going to tell you, yesterday, I had a keto struggle day. Let me just show you what it went like. So I had some beef and broccoli for my first meal. It was around noonish. I was hungry, so I took some steak, some fat, some broccoli, put a little bit of my sassy sauce on it. Fine, no problem. Didn't think about food for the rest of the day until I hit some stress. I hit stress. I was trying to reconfigure and rearrange my tiny home to make a studio of sorts. It didn't work. And once it didn't work, I just stared at the mess I made. I literally tore my house apart, and it stressed me out to the point that I sat down and I was looking around things in my living room just so I could watch TV. And what did I want to do? I wanted to eat. What did I want to eat? Something that wasn't keto. That was it. I was like, I'm in that mode. I created a stressful situation in my house. Now you don't know how to deal with it. You don't want to deal with it. Just eat. I ate the last of my Killer Creamery chocolate ice cream. I ate some keto chips from my Keto Crate box from the other night that was left over. I ate some blueberries with some heavy whipping cream sweetened with stevia. And what else? Oh, and I put nut butter on it. So I ate fat. And then I topped it off. I had 3 hot links with mustard on it and some Alterna Sweets ketchup. I just mixed it up and I ate it. And once I finally did that, finally, that feeling of full hit me, you know, because you know what it's like. When you have a binge eating disorder, you have to find the full. And I did with high fat. I don't care right now. If I gained 2 more pounds from what I ate yesterday, I don't care. I kept it keto. And I know that the longer I keep it keto, then I know that my body will revert and I will get to go back to low hunger, low appetite, and it will switch. So do what you got to do to stay on track. I've already gained weight, so what's the hell? You know, I ate a lot of food. Now, some people say you can eat as much as you want to. Well, you can, unless your metabolism is broken. I might gain a couple of pounds. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. All right. Text this. I love your vlog live streams. You are a positive, encouraging person. Thank you for this message today. I needed it. I'm right there with you, sister. Thank you. Martha says, my slippery slope was alcohol. Allowing vodka into my life, I stopped and went carnivore to get back on track and jumpstart again. I was level since March, give or take 4 pounds. Yeah, Martha, you've done a wonderful job, you know, and you do have to watch out for pitfalls, traps, if you will. You know, the whole time that I was keto and lost 74 pounds, I was still able to drink alcohol. And there were times I got real downright toasted. There was once or twice, first time I drank alcohol, after I had started my keto journey in 2018, I got drunk on 3 drinks and I threw up all over the place because I didn't realize what it would do to me being keto. But that being said, over the next few years, I didn't have a problem for almost 3 years with having a drink here and there, or once a week social get together with the family. I'd either drink vodka or I'd drink wine. or hard liquor. I stayed away from the beer, and I would drink the sparkling seltzers, no problem. But there does come a time after I went off plan, after during this year, drinking and then being intoxicated and going, I'll eat whatever I want to. See, because I'm not fat adapted. So it can be a slippery slope. It's something you definitely have to be careful with. Mary says, yes, I cannot do cheats. I am an addict too, so even a bite can cause bad regression. Sissy says it's so hard to do when you have family living in your home that don't eat the way you do. It can be, and again, I say back and forth, it can be. When you're in your addiction and unable to get out of it, having non-keto people in your house can be very hard. The struggle is so hard. But I will tell you, when I started keto in 2018, nobody in my house was keto, and no changes were made. The only change that was made was my mindset, and that I was going to do it, and I was not going to give into it. And that's exactly what happened. I did not give into it. So my house was still packed with it. I was still cooking meals for the non-keto peeps and making something for myself on the side. It's not until it's that moment when enough is enough. When enough is enough, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing around you. It really doesn't. Because I'm surrounded by non-keto all the time. And not only in my house, but we go out, social events, it doesn't matter, road trips, it's always there. But that mindset is everything. And so understanding my mindset, where I'm at with my addiction, I know that right now enough is enough. No more giving into it. And I know that once I give myself a few weeks of just pure fat and good, healthy, clean, whole foods, then it doesn't matter what anybody else has. So there is that. Let's see. Teresa says, your story is my story. Sissy, God bless you. God bless you too, Sissy. We should never be ashamed. We love you, Nancy. Thank you. You can Teresa, you can overcome this. We are strong. We can do anything. Carbs definitely make fatigue so much worse. Don't they, though? My gosh. So you want to hear another thing okay, so binge eating disorder is a god-awful thing. I mean, you could be a carb and sugar addict, but having binge eating disorder backed with bulimia, terrible addiction, or food disorder that I experienced for many years. I could eat whatever, be fine for a while, but then out of nowhere, when binge eating disorder raises its head, also known as BED or BED, when it raises its head, you're done for. I was done for. So an example, going to the store, and eating copious amounts of foods. I'm talking like wake up in the morning and just eat whatever, bagels, cream cheese, yeah, I'm on it, Bacon and eggs, start out keto. Hey, how about that? Start out keto. Go eat lots of bacon, lots of butter, lots of eggs, but now you're not fat adapted. So then you go in there and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I have bologna sandwich, chips, all right. Not just one sandwich, maybe two, maybe three, maybe a whole sleeve of crackers, a whole stick of butter, a half a thing of honey. How about after that you go in there and you find, a couple of bags of popcorn, not just one, but a couple, and eat those, put some more butter on it, why don't you? And then why don't you just go ahead and go to the store and secretly buy a whole container of pastries and eat them all by yourself in the car, take some more home, say you're going to share, and then still eat some more, and then you nod off like a heroin addict. That's my life. That's me. That's I've done that. I've done it over and over and over the years. And now it's wanting to rear its ugly head. And I have binged. And that's when my aha was like, Nancy, you can't do this again. You just can't. It's going to kill you. The one thing I did quit doing, that I did for years, was make myself throw up after doing that. And I did that for years. I did it to the point that my periods stopped. I did it to the point that I had to go to a doctor. I had to do a therapist and deal with it. And so I know how difficult it can be to make that choice. I know what that addiction monster is like. You know, to me, I have a picture of my monster in my head. And I'm like, no, not this time. So, mind over matter. I'm going to eat fat until my body, my brain gets back on program. All right. Okay. I'm 100% the same as you, but I love your recipes to replace the carby foods. Thanks so much for that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I do. I love doing the recipes because food is such a huge part of my life. I mean, it's like my soul. It's got a part of my soul anyway. You know, it's wonderful. You know, people who aren't all, I don't know, in my mind's eye, I'm just, don't have a lot of money and didn't grow up, you know, with money and stuff like that. So for us, my whole life was about gatherings. How did we entertain ourselves? How did we do things? Well, you know, we kept things simple. We did a lot of cookouts. We celebrated, we hung out. Everything we did was about food. And my dad loved to cook as well. So, you know, it's just something that has been ingrained in me. And as I grew up with my own family, my own kids, my own struggles and low budget and all that, one thing I could do was, you know what, we might not be able to go out to dinner as a family because it's too pricey, but I can make a meal that'll make you, you know, think you were there. So when I went keto and I had just this passion to eat food that really did taste good. I mean, I did want something called bread that just tasted like an egg. I just didn't want something that had some I just couldn't do it. So I love to cook. And when you're in your addiction too, it's like a, you know, hey, yes, I could make something keto, but nah, it's deception. But I'm back at it, y'all. Okay. So much of what I'm going through in some ways also, Nancy. This is from Low Carb Kitchen. Life adventure. So, Sissy, I'm right. I'm right. I'm the only keto in my household. We can do this together. Laura says, I'm 100% the same as you. It's definitely hard when you see carbs all around because your family eats them. Yes, Sissy, we can do anything we put our minds to. Yep, check most of these symptoms. I had some of these from Graves' disease, but they were intensified with menopause. Thank you for your honesty, Lovey. You are strong and courageous. Thank you. Life Adventure says, wait, tingling extremities. I didn't know that. I chalked it up to arthritis. See, I didn't either. There was more than one website, established medical websites that I Googled all symptoms related to menopause. All symptoms, menopause symptoms, not just the top 5, because if you just check out menopause, well, what do they cover? The top 5, you know. So it explained a lot. It really did. I was like, didn't know that. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Tony says, hey there. Mary says she's had tingling in her thighs for years. Paleo Barbie says, check, 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 check to many of these. Barbara says, I needed this today. I've been going through this, but I didn't think I realized it till just right now. Do you have all the symptoms of flowing but no flow, anyone? Ah, see, there's another one. Yeah, kind of weird, isn't it? So I do have, when I had that one period, I got to tell you, when I had that one period back in April, I rejoiced. I happy danced. I was like, oh my gosh, it was fantastic because I got a little boost of progesterone and I got all happy and my appetite went away for a week or two. Like, I was like, I would take my periods any day. Aw, thank you. Neener, $20. Thanks for being you. Thank you. Yeah, I I was so happy after I had that period. I was like, I would rather keep them the rest of my life. I really would. I don't know why we have to stop. In the meantime, I get symptoms. Like, I could always tell when I was ovulating, even before all this. I knew when I was getting ready for my PMS and all those symptoms. And then 3 weeks after my period, 2 weeks after my period, here come the next little sign of symptoms. And I still feel like I can feel those things going on in my body. So yeah, definitely. Barbara says, I think I have went full depression. My husband has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I'm not just in a tailspin. And I'm just in a tailspin, but I did not think depression until right now. Yeah. I mean, life is hard enough, right? I'm so sorry, Barbara, about your husband. Life is hard enough with everything going on in the world. But to have no control, like if you're not a depressed person, but now you are, yeah, it's devastating. It really is. But hopefully, understanding what these symptoms are, understanding what we're going through, knowing that it can compound and make already unbearable situations that much worse, I get a little bit better peace of mind, and maybe you can have that conversation with your physician or doctor or PA or whoever, and get some help with it. Nancy says, I can relate completely. You don't look fat. Stay the way you are. Oh, thanks, Ellie. I don't want to. Do you know why? I don't feel healthy. Does that make sense? I don't feel healthy like I did 40 pounds ago. 40 pounds ago, I was just energy. I looked older. I will tell you that, when I'm fatter, my wrinkles and my bags they're fuller. It kind of fills them out. It's, cheap way. Can't afford Botox, gain some weight. But all seriousness, I don't feel healthy. I don't have energy, you guys. I have always loved mowing my lawn. I've always been outdoorsy. I still sit outside 90% of the day. If I'm not doing a live or I'm not going to bed at night, 90% of my day I am outside somehow. Now I'm just sitting, but it's gone, And that's not me. That's just not. Gardening, it didn't matter. I love doing things. And now I don't care. I don't care about nothing. We're not going to do Christmas. I don't care. I have not had any true, woohoo, I'm so excited about this. Woo-hoo. But I think the biggest thing I'm probably excited about right now is fall. It's so darn hot. I just don't like it. Unless I had a big, maybe fancy outdoor pool, but I don't. So hey, come on, fall. Frap says, I've been pregnant for the last 20 years, haha. Kathy says, this has been the most stressful year for most everyone. I'm 3.5 years keto. I have my bulletproof coffee every day. You can do this. You've been such a help for so many of us. We are here for you. Thank you so much. Oh, Paleo Barbie, thank you. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. It's so cute. Cheryl, thank you. You're beautiful the way you are. Thank you so much. Life adventure, yes. Yes, on the ovulation. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. I appreciate you. June says, been there, done that. It's a struggle, but it does get better. Nancy says, ready for October, and amen to fall coming. So, all right, y'all. I've read all the comments. I'm caught up. I just appreciate y'all so much for taking the time to come here and hang out with me, and hopefully whoever comes in and watches this at the end of the day, if they've noticed or whatever, now they know that I have gained weight. Now they know why, and hopefully if it's something they can relate to, they can get some help out of it and get a little insight or something. So whew. Kyle says, you are on track for success. Stay the course. Enjoy the day on hand. Feel the accomplishment of less sugar and low carb. Yes. Hang in there. Yes, y'all do the same. Anybody who going through this, you hang in there. You make up that mind. You set that mind. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to talk about there are going to be a lot more lives on YouTube than there will be on Facebook. I am slowly phasing my Facebook lives down. So when I do lives here, I will, let them upload, which takes quite a while to upload for whatever reason. But once it's uploaded, I will share it over to Facebook for anybody over there who missed it. If you could do me the favor, hit that share button. Share it to your media platforms. That'd be helpful to me. I would totally appreciate that. I have a community section. Guys, there's a community tab. If you look at Keto for Real Life People, it'll show home, it'll show videos, it'll show about, and it also says community. So when I'm posting, like if I'm going to share a new recipe, it's going to come right on my community page as well. If I'm going to be doing videos of any type, I can post it there and you guys will know it's coming. I'm just now really getting this ball ready to roll here on the YouTube platform. There will be fan subscriptions available. I will continue to do content whether I have fan subscribers or not, so don't fear not. But if you are a fan subscriber, then there will be extra little perks, and I don't know if they started or not, so because I don't know how any of this works, but I'm still going to just be here. I'm going to be here more than I am on some other platforms. It makes sense because the majority of the people who do subscribe or follow me along on my journey are here on YouTube. So, and I'll still post over on Facebook, y'all. It just won't be as much there as it will be here. So, okay. Nina says, love your transparency for the 4th time. Started over 7 and 4 weekends, lost and have been at standstill weight. And look, I'm behind cravings, but food addict. God bless for his grace to overcome our prayers. There we go. Not behind. There you go. Well, we got this. All right, guys. Time for me to run. 1:35. It's been just over the hour mark. I appreciate y'all popping in. I will be seeing you guys soon. So remember, fats first, moderate protein, low carb, and get you some.